Hello everyone, I'm live. Nobody yet, no worries. Hello, hello, hello. Good, I hope everything is working the way it should be. I'm gonna get up here in a second anyway. I'm gonna give myself a little something to drink, but I just wanted to make sure this thing was working. Looks like it is all good to go. Move this a little bit over here so it's not so strong. 4 people. Whoa. Wow, whoa, 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 whoa. Hello, everyone. 5. Wow, that's a record. Hello, 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 hello. Now down to 3. 1 like already. I appreciate the love, whoever you are. Just give me a second. We're going to get this thing started. Sup, Kaimo Films, the man. I appreciate it, as always. Coming into my live streams, I appreciate it. Appreciate it. But I am going to take a second here, let people see it, see them. So give them a second to check it out. So I'm just going to give me 1 moment while I get some, I'm getting something to drink. So I'll be back in just a second. So everyone just chill. Hello, hello, hello. I'm just warming up a drink, so don't mind the microwave in the background. Anyway, all right. I think it's about time. Yeah, giving everyone a chance to get in here. But what I mainly wanted to talk about with this stream was some of the new Bandai Movie Monster figures that have just come out in Japan. And also, some people already got their hands on them. So hopefully the audio is still good. I had to unplug my mic, but hopefully y'all can hear me okay. Looking okay? All right. But anyway, yeah, so if you didn't know already, the Bandai Movie Monsters, shall I get more specific? Those are the Bandai figures that mainly come out in Japan. They're the more old school vinyl figures that don't come in like a box or anything, but they come with like a plastic tag. And if you've been a fan for a very long time, you remember that they would always come out with the Japanese movies back in the day. And there was a time when it was much harder to get them in the United States. This was in the days before Bandai creation. So for some of us, like, it was a huge deal when Bandai creation came out, because that was the first time you could get these vinyl figures like in stores in the US. I remember I got like a Godzilla 2000 figure as a gift from like a Japanese friend I had from his family. I guess they got it when they were in Japan. And that was amazing to me because all I had were Trendmasters figures at the time. And I was like, holy crap. And I was a huge Godzilla 2000 fan. Anyway, didn't really need to go into that anecdote. But the Bandai Japanese vinyl figures for Godzilla 2019 have apparently just hit stores there. And if you pre-ordered, like I did, you're supposed to get them in about 4 weeks. Damn microwave. But 4 to 6 weeks, I mean, depending on where you are, right? Though I know that Luis Duran, a very, he might not say popular, but he's got a lot of subs. So I would say fairly popular Godzilla YouTuber already got his hands on them, like I saw on Instagram, which blew my mind. I'm not sure how he got them so fast. They just came out. I mean, but like in Japan, it still takes a time for them to obviously ship everywhere else. And so if you haven't already, I mean, if you see in some of my other videos, I talked about the figures already, but I'm sure you can just look them up. And there's there's a figure for Mothra, Rodan, Godzilla, and King Ghidorah, all in like the standard 6-inch category. And then they have one for Godzilla in like a much larger, I think it's like a 12-inch size. And he actually comes in a box that says like Godzilla instead of just a normal with a tag. But of course, you know, the thing that comes with it is you have to wait if you don't want to wait for like the Jack specific. And that's the thing, like it depends on what you really want. I was more interested in the Bandai Movie Monster King Ghidorah because, well, since the Jack specific ones, there's no large one, there's only the King Ghidorah that comes in the box or the Godzilla versus King Ghidorah set. And then the NECA King Ghidorah, sorry, the SH Monster Arts King Ghidorah is like $160, I think. And then there's no NECA King Ghidorah, right? We're only left with this Bandai Movie Monster King Ghidorah as our alternative. Like, you really have no choice unless you want to hope that NECA eventually makes a King Ghidorah. Or, you know, so I'm definitely more interested in getting that one than anything else. But, you know, what about you guys? If you guys are getting to get the Bandai Movie Monsters, are you willing to wait 4 to 6 weeks? I mean, we have to wait for Rodan, right? So I think if you're willing to wait for Rodan from NECA, you're willing to wait for these toys. And I like them because like they have a different style, you know? They have a higher quality. I think like collectors and figures are different in Japan than other countries because like with these kind of toys and they come out in other countries, like the quality is much crappier. Though I have to admit the Jack specific toys are pretty good. But like I remember, for example, Jurassic World 1, Jurassic World, what can we call it, 2015? And I'm not the only one. A lot of people commented that the toy line for Jurassic World was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. Those figures, like everyone, the quality was pretty bad. And even like the Godzilla 2014, what was it, Bandai figures that, but it's kind of confusing because it was also a Bandai creation Godzilla 2014 figure, but the normal line of Bandai figures weren't very good. I don't know. See, because Bandai, they have like Bandai USA, then they have Bandai Creation, and they have Bandai Japan, so I don't know which one belongs to which. But my point is, the ones from Japan are usually the best. Like the quality of the figures, even though they're vinyl figures, they don't move much. They always have been the best quality. And we all want to get our hands on them. And plus, I don't know, there's something cool about the fact that they're like the ones from Japan. I'm going Monsters for this movie, says Kaimo Films. Even though I was sad that my Walmarts don't have the Jacks, I'm probably sticking with SHMA. And it depends on what your needs are. I don't think I am going to get Jacks, honestly. First of all, I haven't even gotten my hands on them. I've heard that some people are having difficulty finding them in their Walmarts. Like, what? I don't know. This is the problem, right? It's like one store says, oh, they're out and they're everywhere. And then another store says, like, Luis Duran, if you follow him, I kind of seem obsessed with this guy. I apologize. I just always see his stuff on Instagram. But he like posts like a story where he went to one Walmart and to another, and he had like literally 9 toy attempts or something. I saw once. Like he kept going from one place to another, to another, to another. Because apparently they're hard to find, is what I've heard. They're not like, you have to like go around them, and they're usually like in a, I forgot what it's called. It's like, they're not on a shelf or in an aisle. They're like in the box, whatever it's called. There's a name for it, and I actually forget the name. I remember what it's called, but it's not when it's like in an aisle. It's when it's like in the middle of a cross area, and there's like just a box. Anyway, they're usually in those, is what I've heard. A display, thank you. But there's another term for that, but I know that's also what it's called. But I forget when you put something in a box, but yeah, that's what I've heard is where you find them. But anyway, yeah, the only thing I'm really interested from Jax is getting the Burning Godzilla versus Mothra mini set, just because they remind me a lot of like, if any of y'all ever had the Trendmasters figures from way back in the day, like in the 90s, they had like toy sets. I think I had like a Godzilla versus King Ghidorah and Godzilla versus Rodan. I believe those were the ones I had, but there were a ton, right? There was like Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, I think Space Godzilla and Gearus, all these little toy sets that came with 1 or 2 together. And so maybe it's like that, like nostalgia, maybe is the only reason I'm really interested. And I like the little minifigures. I don't know. I think they're kind of, well, let's just say they're fun. They're kind of cute, and it's nice to have them. But I think that's the only one I'd get. I don't think I would waste really the money on the larger King Ghidorah Rodan when I could just get the NECA or the SH Monster Arts, right? Yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna quickly get my drink, but I'll be right back. Hello, I'm back. I don't know if I got any comments. Let me check. Oh, let's see. All right. Anyway, yeah. I mean, I know it's funny, I keep you guys waiting, but like, there are some streamers who like, they say they start at a certain time, and then they just put like a standby title thing for like 10 minutes. And I'd rather just talk to you guys while I do this. It's not like I'm doing anything serious anyway. So I'd rather just, instead of keeping you guys waiting, I'll just ramble. This was supposed to be more of a more chill live stream anyway. It wasn't meant to be anything like super well put together. I just wanted to talk to you guys for a while. Yeah. And before I forget, again, this isn't very well planned, but I also wanted to briefly mention that we've just hit 14,000 on this channel. And so that's a big moment. That went by fast. And I swear I'm getting that 13,000 subscriber Q&A done. I've already filmed it. I just got to put it together. So thank you all so much. I don't know where y'all keep coming from, but I appreciate the love and support. I'm just having a little coffee. Ooh, it's good. But OK Did's here in the corner laughing at me, I think. But we'll leave her be. Anyway, so I'm definitely planning on getting the Bandai Movie Monster King Ghidorah. I think that's as far as it goes, and probably the NECA Rodan figure. I think that's kind of my targets. But the big thing is the future, because this is what we have announced right now. The thing is, for like the the big one is Godzilla Meltdown, right? That there is only so far one figure, and that's the Jakks Pacific mini figure. And I've already seen someone who took the Jakks Pacific larger size 12-inch figure and like did a custom paint job to make him like in the Burning Godzilla figure of Godzilla, to make him look like a Burning Godzilla. So when are we going to get that? And more than likely that will be sometime after the movie comes out, that we'll get like an actual official Burning Godzilla figure. I'm definitely betting NECA will make one, because first of all, NECA loves to do repaints. They love to do repaints, and so does SH Monster Arts. So we're probably going to get a Burning Godzilla from both of them, either sometime this year or next year. I mean, maybe late this year, so they can kind of get like the fall holiday season. I know a lot of fans would love to get an SH Monster Arts Burning Godzilla 2019. But maybe Bandai will also do one for the movie monsters. So the question is like, when are these supposed to come out? Like, and then the other question, I don't think many have asked as much yet, is the Titans, right? Now we're like up to 17 is the latest thing I've heard. There's supposed to be 17 Titans in this movie. Are they all going to get toys as well, like minifigures or Jakks Pacific or something like that? So that's the other thing. Where and when and who's making that? Another cool thing that they do a lot in Japan is I'm probably pronouncing this wrong. They make the gasapon. They're like really, they usually do them for every movie. There's like these little figures, and they come in like a set of like 6 actually in Japan. Like you buy them as a set, and they each come with little figures. They're like this big. Sometimes online you can buy them individually, but I think like in Japan they would come out as a set. So maybe they'll do that for the Titans. Like they won't do actual figures for each one, but they'll do like a mini set of them or something. Or Jack Pacific will do like a mini destruction set thing, which is like a perfect opportunity. But it's like there's 17 Titans in this movie. I mean, that's an amazing opportunity to make like a lot. I mean, I'm thinking from a toy company perspective, like that's a huge opportunity to make a ton of money off this movie, to just make like a bunch of a toy for each and every single monster. So that may be what's happening. Oh, wow, 6 people? Wow. I never had that many people watching a live stream of mine. But could you imagine if the Titans all got their own figures? That would be insane. 17? I mean, what Godzilla fan is going to go out and buy 7? I mean, have we even ever had a movie with that many monsters? Now, again, I've said already many times that I don't think these Titans are all going to show up at the same time. I think they're at the beginning or at the end, hinted at. I doubt. I think the main focus is going to be the 4 monsters. But I'll have to see. I just want to get another sip in, some good coffee here. So, I don't know. That's going to be interesting too. And then, are these toys going to be done? I mean, I'm sure we're still going to be getting toys for this movie by the time Godzilla vs. Kong comes out. You know, don't be surprised. When Godzilla 2014 came out, Bandai Creation released their toy like I think a year after the movie came out. So NECA made like a bunch of Pacific Rim figures like well after Pacific Rim came out. They were still making figures. So these toy companies are going to squeeze the life out of, as to say, out of this, and they're going to stretch this out as long as possible because, I mean, that's really how they make money. It's not when the movie comes out, but they need to, like, keep, you know, and that's, I think, a big part of why NECA didn't want to do a King Ghidorah figure, because they weren't sure that it would make money over the long time, that they could, like, because with Godzilla, yeah, they've already got 2 versions of him. They could do a Godzilla, they could do a Spitfire version, they could do a Burning Godzilla version, they can do a repaint, they can do something else. They'll do the Godzilla versus Kong version. But King Ghidorah, they can only make 1 toy. And it's a huge toy. It would be really expensive to make. They can only do it once. And, like, I don't know if they could really make an alternate version of it. SH Monster Arts, on the other hand, Bandai is a huge company, right? So they can make... Oh, they'll do the SH Monster Arts King Ghidorah. Then in 2 years, they'll do the golden repaint version. Then they'll do another color blasted version, whatever, because that's what they did with the other King Ghidorah they did. That they made, like, I think 3 or 4 repaints of it. So Bandai has that advantage that, 1, they have more funding. 2, they can probably get away with doing more repaints. And so that's a big part of why I think NECA isn't going to, or didn't want to do a King Ghidorah. And that's the thing. Like, do you want to wait a year for a King Ghidorah figure from NECA? I mean, in that time, you could just save up money for the SH Monster Arts one. And I don't know. It's all a matter of opinion, perspective, what you need and want from these figures. Yeah, it's weird how crazy the toy market can be. But I don't know. And I wonder if Jakks Pacific will do the Godzilla vs. Kong figures. And it's like Godzilla King of the Monsters hasn't even come out yet, and we're already can start talking about Godzilla vs. Kong. It finished filming already. I mean... Oh, Kaimo, you're saying that you don't know why NECA wouldn't make it, seeing as they've made the Alien Queen. Well, NECA's made a lot of big toys before. And that whole argument, I mean, there's a lot of companies that, if that was the argument of the size or the value, I mean, there's a lot of companies that make these huge figures, these huge box sets. I remember for Pacific Rim, they did I think it was like a 2-foot Jaeger or something like that. It was huge, of Gypsy Danger. And that is probably going to be, that is way bigger than their King Ghidorah would be if it's in scale with their Godzilla figure. I mean, I don't think fans are asking for like a 24-inch height-wise King Ghidorah. They're just probably asking for a more standard scale size one, 12 inches tall, right? And I think that probably wouldn't be that hard for NECA to make. Like you were kind of saying with the Alien Queen. Alien Queen 2 was a large size figure. So it was kind of, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to keep bringing up NECA and the Ghidorah controversy. It's just that, you know, it's kind of weird to think about that you'll have fans who will end up with a Jakks-Pacific King Ghidorah, a Bandai Movie Monster King Ghidorah, an SH Monsters King Ghidorah, but no NECA one. Now, I don't know. You were saying like, but who would buy all those figures? And I'm telling you, Godzilla fans are kind of crazy, and they will literally buy a figure of the same monster from different toy companies. They have to. They have to get. People have already done that. Actually, what am I talking about? Like they've already have the Jakks-Pacific. Like Luis Duran, I mean, he has the Jakks-Pacific figures and the Bandai Movie Monster figures. He already has 2 figures of King Ghidorah 2019. And then he has like 2 figures of Rodan. And at this point, he's probably got like 4 figures of Godzilla because like he has the big Jakks-Pacific. I think he has one of the small ones. He has the big Bandai Movie Monster. He has the short. I mean, that's like 4 figures of Godzilla 2019. So, you know, it's Godzilla fans will buy the same. The same monster from 4 different toy companies. But it'll be really weird when everybody has everything except a NECA Ghidorah. It's going to like, I don't know. It's going to feel strange. And a big thing about that is we can talk about the Muto figure that we never got from NECA either. Like, because Bandai Movie Monster, there was a Bandai Movie Monster Muto they made. But NECA never made a Muto figure. So it's kind of like, the only one we got was like from the Destruction set. So it's kind of like funny. It doesn't hurt me at all because I'm going SH. Right, exactly. And I'm assuming you're just going to get the SH Monster Arts one, right? Like I'm assuming most people will only buy 1 figure. I'm just talking about some people, the real collectors who have to buy, for some reason, from each brand and not even each version for some reason, and that's fine. If they want to do it, it's their money, they can spend it how. I just think it's amusing. Why do you need 5 figures of the same monster? But, you know, just so you can be like, well, I have the NECA version, I have the SH Monster version, okay. I have the repaint. Yeah. I didn't realize I would go on a 20-minute rant about Godzilla toys, but I don't know. It's just, it's so strange to think about. And the thing with NECA is like, I do like their other Godzilla figures. I don't want to seem like I'm hating on them. I like their Godzilla 1954. That's the one I have. Their Godzilla 1962 looks really good. I'm just not that big a fan of the suit itself, so I didn't get the figure. But like, from a perspective of like, the quality of the figure is actually really good. Their Godzilla 1985, when they fixed it, turned out to be really well. If you all remember when it first had a picture released, it looked kind of bad. Well, the head looked really bad. So people complained so much that they had to go back and make a new head for it. And that was a good thing. So like, you know, when people complain to NECA, they make things better. So is it such a bad thing that people were complaining that they didn't do a NECA Ghidorah? Like, we got a better figure out of it. Anyway, so I want NECA to keep making Godzilla toys. I want them to make other Godzillas and maybe other monsters. I don't think they have the license to, unfortunately. But like I said, it's kind of iffy right now. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens because right now they've got what? Like I said, the Godzilla, they got the Spitfire, they have Rodan, they have Mothra. Those are the 4 NECA figures. They just put out the King Kong, the Godzilla 1962 King Goji suit. So as far as we know, I mean, I don't know what would be next for NECA. Probably Burning Godzilla. And then maybe, hopefully, another Showa suit or a 90s suit. A Millennium suit would be amazing because we've only gotten those from SH Monster Arts. Could you imagine like a NECA Godzilla 2004, 2002? Oh, no, I lied. They did GMK. I forgot about that. They did GMK Godzilla. Okay, so that's true. But I would like to see a 2002, 2000. Godzilla 2000 is so popular, especially with fans in the United States. Like, NECA should I would buy that. That would be awesome. I don't know. Okay, that's enough on that because I feel like I've touched on that for so much. I just wanted to bring that up, that these toys came out. So, but the big thing also since the beginning of April is the new Ultraman series just hit Netflix. And I know I also have to, I haven't watched it yet, but I've heard some good things about it already. And some people, like, of course, just binge watch the whole thing. I like to take my time with the series, but, you know, because one, I don't know, I just can't watch so many episodes in one day. I would like to digest a series as I go along. But I have been thinking about, you know, TV series and giant monster movies as a whole. Some ASMR for you guys. I try not to do too many while I'm doing this, but I know that must sound amazing. ASMR for you. But we really haven't gotten in the animated sphere so many series, right? I really think back to G98, the Godzilla 98 animated series that came out on Fox Kids, I want to say. I'm almost done with One Punch Man Season 1. That's a huge, I mean, that's so... That One Punch Man, what's interesting about that is that actually wasn't like a normal manga. I believe it was a webcomic, well, a web manga that became a manga, then became a series. And now there's already rumors / news that they want to make a movie. But you know how these things take years to get developed, so. But that has blown up. And, but I will say Netflix kills it with is killing it in a good, not like in a bad way, but like is killing it with the anime because, you know, you go look up Godzilla and all they have is the Godzilla anime trilogy. They've got Ultraman. They have so much. So like, even though right now, you know, Disney is about to launch Disney Plus, and I don't know if they did yet or not, but they're about to. CBS has had one for a while, and I'm trying to think of who else has I mean, there's Hulu. But Netflix has anime. That's the one big thing. That's like their huge selling point. So maybe they're gonna lose a lot of the Marvel shows, and they're gonna lose Star Wars, but they'll definitely have anime. So if you're a huge anime fan, you know you can stick to Netflix. That's the good news, at least for now. Of course, yeah. And I mean they've always had though a lot of shows, a lot of animes on Netflix. For a while, for a good amount of time. A lot of animated series in general. They had the entire Godzilla 98 animated series. They had the entire Hanna-Barbera series as well for a time. I mean, I have them. I have the 98 animated series on DVD. I have the whole series. And I've been thinking about doing some kind of like retroactive analysis of it or something. Not like a whole review, but just I want to go back and like go over the series and do like a video about it because I feel like it's really underrated. I mean, the people who've watched it said it was awesome. And hold on. The cookie's so good. Had to enjoy it. But like it's cheesy. Yes, it's a very cheesy 90s American cartoon. If you grew up watching a lot of cartoons from that era, the Men in Black cartoon, the Mask cartoon, they were all based off movies. And they're really cheesy, but they're enjoyable. And it feels like it's not much cheesier than the 60s Godzilla movies. And yet I feel like, I don't know, it needs more appreciation. I think a big part of it is that stigma that it's technically related to Godzilla 98. And some people in the fandom like hate that movie, so they want nothing to do with it. But the series is like so much better than the movie, and you really see like what Zilla or Godzilla 98 is capable of when like you make him act more like the original Godzilla. Then the design works, it's really cool, and you're like left going, well, this would have been a great movie by itself. And you come and you feel like you have more appreciation for Zilla and his design and what makes him actually his more unique, because like the series still follows the same plot that he's a mutated iguana, there's other mutated monsters around the world, and it's more like a realistic conception of like all the old Godzilla movies, you know, and it's just kind of a shame that the series didn't go on for longer and they didn't do more with it, you know, like a video games or something. Like I would have rather, I mean, we didn't get a second Godzilla, we didn't get a sequel to Godzilla 98, but honestly, I would have rather have just gotten a few more seasons of the animated series, maybe a video game based off of it, like a fighting game or something. You know, there's just so much that could, I think maybe there was a Game Boy game, now I think about it. But I don't know, I'm thinking about going back and rewatching it because it's like, and the fact that we don't have really any Godzilla animated series, we have an anime trilogy. But there, I mean, there's also like, in Japan there was like a cute little Monster Island show, but like that's very different. It's, I mean, in terms of like an actual more serious animated series about Godzilla fighting other monsters. And that's why I wanted to check out the Ultraman anime, just because maybe if it's successful, maybe Toho will do something a little different with the anime and do an actual anime series this time instead of an anime trilogy or something. I don't know. Or maybe they'll do an American one based off the Monsterverse or something. But that would be really cool because I would love to see another Godzilla animated series. And I mean series, not an anime trilogy. Just because I think that there's so much potential you can do with it. You know, there's so many cool stories and different takes on Godzilla you can do that wouldn't work in a movie, but in an animated series you can get away with a lot more. You know, you can have really ridiculous things happen. I mean, the Hanna-Barbera series had Godzuki. Now, he wasn't a popular character, but I mean, you could do a lot with it. So, I don't know. And of course, we'll see if the Ultraman anime is successful and it continues to have more seasons as well. So that, again, hopefully, maybe we'll get a crossover. That crossover we've been wanting all these years. Ultraman, you know, they'll start a Godzilla anime series and then they'll cross over. And I mean, we'll see. I don't know. Ultraman versus Godzilla is like Godzilla versus Gamera, and it's up to Toho and the other companies. And rumor has it that like about in like 2005, 2004, the guys who owned Gamera were actually willing to do a crossover. So, I mean, I'm sure they are. I mean, Godzilla is like let's be honest, a bit more popular than Gamera, really. Let's be honest here. And so I think they know that they would love to have Godzilla fight Gamera. I think it's really up to Toho. It really is. And I'm thinking like, anyway, now I'm going on a brief tangent about Gamera, but he too could get his own animated series. I don't really care. It's just that like, you know, we've had so many Godzilla movies. We've had an anime trilogy. Now it's really, you know, we've had comics. We've had these comics coming out for the past couple years. They've slowed down now for some reason, but we had Rulers of Earth and Legends and Gangsters and Goliaths and Godzilla in Hell and Rage Across Time and all these things. You could turn that into an animated series. I mean, Rulers of Earth has probably so much content, you could probably make at least one season just based off Rulers of Earth. Just take that comic book and make it into an animated series. I don't know, it's just like, it's cool that we have movies, don't get me wrong, but like, I want more, you know. And video games, I mean, I keep saying that's a topic for another day because I want to, you know, getting into Godzilla video games. That's another thing too, but I'm just talking about anime series right now. And you know, there was like when Shing Godzilla was coming out, gosh, he was featured on this like little anime, like an episode of an anime series, and it was silly and cheesy. But it was cool. It was like, whoa. And it was like Shing Godzilla. I mean, it looked like him. Obviously, the style was more cartoony, but it's just like you watch that and you want to go and then there's like a very, very more for kids Kong King of Apes series that is also on Netflix, and I did I think a review of the first episode, and it's for kids. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all, but I mean, I would take something like that even if it was really like more for kids and really cheesy and like not the best. And that one's 3D animated, which I would prefer something 2D animated, but 3D animation is kind of where the industry is going. I mean, if they made Godzilla look decent and the stories were decent, then yeah, I'd watch it. It's fine. But I don't know, I feel like with Godzilla 98, you know, we got so much of that stuff. You know, we got book series and we got like children's books. We got like the Trendmaster figures. We got an animated series. Like where kind of is? We've had some of that. Obviously, we've had the NECA figures. We've had the comic books. But like, where are the Godzilla novels? I mean, I guess it's true that that was like 20 years ago, more than 20 years ago. And so people don't really read books as much. Maybe people don't watch animated series as much. I don't know. I mean, I just want more. Like, if Godzilla's really come back for sure now, and Toho wants to make more merchandise and make it something more taken seriously, I think this is an amazing opportunity to get us more content. And then, of course, a really good Godzilla video game. But that's, again, a story for another day. But I don't know. So yeah, just a brief rant. I somehow took Ultraman and turned that into a tangent about my childhood. But yeah, I want to rewatch the Godzilla 98 animated series. Maybe do a video on it. Maybe I'll do a video on the Godzilla novels, too, by Mark Surancini. I actually don't remember how you pronounce his name. But I read those too, man. And, I mean, not, of course, people read less and less all the time now, but I would love to see a Godzilla novels, like, return. I mean, I need some good books to read anyway, so I would read them. I mean, they probably wouldn't be a huge hit, but, like, maybe, I don't know, on Kindle or something, Kindle exclusive. Or just bring the comic books back. I don't know why they stopped making the comic books either. Because, like, I mean, yeah, I wasn't in love with all of them, but, like, come on, you had, like, Godzilla in Hell, or Godzilla Cataclysm, Half Century War. That was really good, too. I don't know. We'll have to see, I guess, how King of the Monsters does. That's the big question, right? Will King of the Monsters do well enough that they can keep making this content, right? And already people have been saying, oh, it's projected to make like 60 million in its opening weekend, so we got to really go out there and push it and stuff like that. And don't pay attention that much to the projections. I think that's I think IDW rights ran out. And that's why, probably. Kind of like Dark Horse. Which is funny that they didn't renew it, because I thought Godzilla in Hell, at least, sold well enough that they would renew it. But maybe they felt like they weren't making enough money or something. I don't know. Yeah, it's up to IDW, right? And it's up to Toho when it comes to rights. Especially Toho is very strict on who gives them what. But anyway, back to the projection thing. I feel like I remember when Jurassic World came out, that they were projecting Jurassic World 2015. I keep going back to that. When it came out, it was like a huge shock at how well it did. Like, Universal was like blown away. They did not expect it to do so well. And it made like more money than Avengers Age of Ultron that year. Like, it wasn't projected at all to make that much money. So I think it's kind of like, people are saying, oh, it's not going to make that much. And, oh no, we got to go out there and support it. And like, the projections is like, I think it's kind of BS a little bit. And I don't know if that takes into account how much money the movie will make in China. By the way, that probably doesn't, that's huge now. If the projection is only for domestic, that's $60 million domestic. Who cares? It'll make like 300 million worldwide. That's what matters these days, is the worldwide gross, not the domestic gross. No offense to people in the States. But that's truly how the box office works these days. So, you know, tell your friends in China to go see it. That's what's more important. Tell your friends in China to go see Godzilla. That's the big thing. Text them right now. Tell people in Japan, go see Godzilla King of the Monsters. That's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. But I'm not, I don't know. I'm not that worried. I don't think it's going to be like a $1 billion movie, but like, I mean, the past two, Godzilla 2014 and King of the Kong Skull Island, were both box office successes. And so I'm not that worried about it. It's got summer action hits. It's got Millie Bobby Brown. It's got a lot of famous actors. I mean, I think it'll get audiences to go. I don't think it's going to make all the money in the world, but I think it's going to surprise people. I think people probably are really interested anyway. They're kind of like, whoa, you know, and all the monsters and everything. Because what's so funny is Godzilla 2014, everybody, non-Godzilla fans even, complained to me that there wasn't enough Godzilla in it. They're definitely going the opposite this time and just filling it with monsters. And I think that's the right direction, because that's what people go to see these movies. They want to see monsters and they want to see action. That's what, you know, some people will say, well, I like it when they hide the monster. I'm like, but it's not a horror movie. It's an action movie. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I would say don't complain about the projection. I think these days what's more important is the critical reviews and then like how it does well overseas. I think those are what's the most important. So, Shing Godzilla, well, this is different because it's Japan, but Shin Godzilla was not projected to make that much. It broke huge records. It's like, in Japan, I mean. It's like one of the highest grossing live action movies in Japan. One, not the most, but it made a butt ton of money. And we didn't expect that. So, the projection game, I'm always very skeptical of that. But, yeah, what else? Hello. Sorry, I don't know what I just did. I hope I didn't freeze. I did, okay. That's no fun. Yeah. But, anyway, yeah, so I don't know. It's just kind of like, we get so into, oh no, is the movie going to do well? But if the last one did well enough that it made like 500 million, that was enough for them to make Kong Skull Island and make this film. You know, if it gets 800 million, great, great, you know. If Godzilla vs. Kong makes 800 million, I think it's going to be fine. These movies probably don't need to make $1 billion, gajillion dollars. Not yet, at least. I mean, it'd be amazing. I mean, I would love for a Godzilla movie to make $1 billion at the box office, but I don't think they need to. And of course, the other big thing is that Legendary wants his movies to do well so they can kind of continue doing the MonsterVerse. And, you know, that would be huge for all of us, I think. Ollie Rocket 127 says hi. Hello! I was actually just kind of winding down a little bit, but nice to see you. Thank you for the comment. Yeah, I'm just kind of, now at this point, I've kind of gone over the toys and Ultraman, and I'm just rambling about Godzilla 2014. Again, this is more chill, so this is like not really all that organized. I'm kind of choking on a cookie, so. I think that I'd like to see the MonsterVerse continue. I know that Toho says they want to do their own cinematic universe thing. And I'm just like, but like MonsterVerse can do so much as well with like better visual effects, let's be honest, and hire, you know, big name actors. And I don't know. I mean, like there's so much potential that if Legendary can keep making MonsterVerse movies, you know, they could bring in like Gamera. That's my dream. Godzilla, Gamera, and King Kong in one movie. I'd pre-order my ticket today if you told me that. Like, even if it comes out in like 2023 or something, I'd pre-order my ticket today, man. That would be an amazing movie. That'd be a dream come true. Hence why in my Godzilla vs. Kong fan trailer, I have Gamera showing up as well as Gigan. It'd be awesome. It'd be awesome. But anyway, I just don't, I don't know. I mean, I'd love to see like King Kong get more movies. We could remake King Kong Escapes. We could do Son of Kong. I want Rodan to get his own movie. I want Mothra to get her own movie. It'd be cool to have like another Mothra trilogy, but done well. You know, there's so much potential. I want the MonsterVerse to continue as long as they keep giving us the hits, you know? Like, I don't know. But we have to see. You know, we're thinking, you know, it is a little bit ahead, right? Because MonsterVerse is not a Marvel status. If it ends, it ends, and there's nothing we can do about it. Toho is very persistent. Oof. Toho, I'm not, hey, I gotta watch out, right? Because Toho is watching these videos. And I don't want to say, like, there's no joke either, and you're saying, oh, you're over-exaggerating. But, like, I've definitely had times where, and if you're a Godzilla YouTube creator, you probably have had times where Toho, like, boom, you had, like, 2 seconds of Toho content or Godzilla content, video blocked worldwide. Not, oh, well, you can't make money, it's demonetized, but you can still post. No, blocked worldwide. So Toho is serious. You don't, they're like the mafia. Like people talk about, ooh, you know, the CIA, the KGB. Well, they don't exist anymore, but like, you know, this intelligence. No, you don't mess with Toho. They will find you. They went after the guy who started, that Godzilla guy who did like the Neo Monster Island. They went after him. So it's like, you don't mess with Toho. And if Toho says, you guys are done, you're done. Like, that's true too. If Toho wants to make their own movies, they're probably the way they write their contracts now is like, Toho can cancel this contract at any time and you can't sue them. So, I mean, we'll see. It's really up to Toho. It really is. And don't mess with Toho. Yeah. Be very careful. You know, that's another note. Be very careful with Toho. I've heard a lot of horror stories. And they will come after you. No joke. It doesn't, you think you're a small YouTuber they will come for you. They will come for you. They'll come for us all. I don't mean to scare anyone who's trying to become like a Godzilla YouTuber, by the way. I'm trying to encourage people, but just be careful is all I'm saying, because they don't mess. Like others might, like, you know, let you have your video, but it's demonetized. No, Toho, if your video wasn't supposed to be up, you know, or you put, like, instead of like having their trailer at a small size, you had it like at full screen, yeah, your video blocked worldwide. So that, by the way, that's a tip. If your video gets blocked worldwide, just make it smaller or cut it down or something, and you can get away with it. But anyway, I mean, we'll see. I mean, maybe Toho could make a good monster cinematic universe. I mean, they've done it before. They did it in the 60s. They probably could do it. I don't doubt it. My main issue, though, is like it would be really cool to see like a big budget Hollywood destroy all monsters where you got Gamera and Godzilla and King Kong and Mothra and Rodan and Gigan and Biollante just like all fighting each other. Like, that's a dream come true. Brandon Tenold knows everything about Toho blocking his reviews. Oof. He's a good reviewer. I like him. You know, I don't really watch a lot of movie review channels as much as I used to. But when I used to watch them, I used to watch Nostalgia Critic, watched a little bit of Cinemassacre, mainly his Godzilla videos. But Brandon Tenold is, he's a good guy. I like his content. Yeah, movie reviews is tough. Is very tough on YouTube. Angry Joe as well, if you follow him, he also talks about it. It's like, you know, some of my content, I can understand why they would demonetize it. But like when it comes to my movie reviews, it's like, but isn't that my opinion? Am I not? I mean, I have to kind of show footage of the movie to give my opinion. And it's just like, you're not showing the entire movie. You're just showing clips of it while you talk over it. I mean, how is that really copyright? It doesn't make any sense, and it's wrong. But yeah, you don't mess with Toho. They'll block worldwide, or they'll block in certain countries. It depends. But even other, like Warner Brothers and a lot of American companies now, if they don't detect you when you post your video, they'll come and they'll detect it afterwards. That happened recently to my fan trailer. That happened to one of my trailer reactions. And I don't know if any other videos, but it says manually detected. You probably heard about this before if you've been following enough people on YouTube. They'll come after you. Hi, man, I'm new. I think he meant new. Hello, Sebastian. Welcome. I'm just kind of rambling about YouTube. But, and hopefully they don't take this video down. Oh, man. Hopefully the algorithm's just not like, okay, nobody sees this video. Nobody. And I don't like to complain so much about YouTube. Funny enough, it's very popular to complain about YouTube. But I just want to point out that, like, especially for us, that we talk about movies, right? So we use footage from movies or music. Oh God, music from movies. And I use like 2 seconds of a Toho Akira Ifukube music in my Godzilla toy movie, and it's flagged and demonetized. And I'm trying to, you know what? Actually, now that I think about it, I did like a Godzilla, top 6 Godzilla movie reviews years ago. And some of those videos are still blocked to this day. I had just forgotten about it and never appealed it because I did those years ago. But yeah, they were like blocked worldwide. And they're like shoot at 5 minutes. I really want Godzilla King of Monsters to come out already. Yeah, but it's like also such I have a Godzilla trailer idea. Maybe you could do Godzilla vs. Ghost Godzilla. If you don't know who Ghost Godzilla is, then you can search up. Sorry, Ollie Rocket, are you referring to the original idea for Godzilla vs. Destroyer? Is that the one you're talking about? Because that's the only Godzilla vs. Ghost Godzilla that I know of. But if not, but hit me up, yeah, sure. Yes, okay, yeah, Godzilla vs. Ghost Godzilla, okay. I'll get to that one when I can. I have, yeah, but sure. Stay tuned then for when that one. I'm always, by the way, anyone suggests trailers, I will do them. And, you know, maybe I'll do a poll one of these days to organize this a little better. But I'm always looking for ideas for fan trailers. So, but anyway, now I got thrown off a little bit. But I was just talking about YouTube and Godzilla Godzilla YouTube, well, just movie YouTube in general. And this is just my point of advice to, speaking of these trailers, right? I make these trailers. People suggest for me to make a trailer. And, but of course I have to use the footage and it gets me flagged. Funny enough, sometimes like they don't flag me. You know, I have like 2 trailers that have like thousands of views and they never flagged me. And I don't know what I did, but somehow like I was able to keep them up without them being flagged. I mean, while other videos like that, oh, hey, you have a song in here for 10 seconds, we detected it, so this has been demonetized. And then I had another, like I said, my last trailer, it was up for like a week, and then they manually detected it. So I have no idea how it works, that like sometimes they don't catch it, sometimes they do catch it. It's weird. And some things they're on it. And it's kind of just like, oof, I don't know. And especially for channels like mine that we're focused on movies, like it's tough because we want to make footage. I don't know how like D-Man 1954, who I think he shows a lot of footage too, or like Luis Duran just posted like 2 trailers up, and I'm like, okay, but how do you not, you probably do get flagged for those kind of videos. But even like I said, like you make a toy movie, right? It's your toys, you shot the footage, you edited yourself, but you use 10 seconds of audio or music from Toho, and then your entire video gets flagged, demonetized. Sebastian says, do you think the Earth is flat around? I think you meant the Earth, right? But no, I'm not a flat earther. It's a very random question, but no, I'm a round earther. Is that what we could call us? The non-flat earthers? But anyway, so it's tough out here for us Godzilla fans, but movie reviewers too. It's tough, man. And I don't know how they even, like, CinemaSins somehow though has done fine. And I don't know, it's just like, and then Sebastian now asked me, do I know who Cthulhu is? Yes, I know what it is, as like, I've seen pictures of him. I've never read H.P. Lovecraft, but from what I know, he's like a squid god thing that like, yeah. My Godzilla vs. Gundam video got claimed and got monetized for the owner. I didn't like it, so I took it down, re-edited it, re-uploaded it, and it's been good ever since, from Kaimo Films. And I tell you, I have, yeah, like I said, one video, I think it was a trailer reaction. This was the one that Toho blocked worldwide. So what I had to do, I think it was like a trailer reaction or something, but it wouldn't have been a trailer reaction. I think it was a movie review. I don't remember what it was. And I think it was because it was shown full screen, so I had to like, I think I had to cut it out completely. And I had finished it. I had finished the entire movie review, I think it was. And I had spent a long time editing it, and then I had to go back, cut that out, and then it was fine. But it's just like, when you've spent all this time and effort on a video, it's just annoying. And now Sebastian says it should be Cthulhu versus Godzilla. There is a Cthulhu versus Godzilla shirt, I think. I don't know if it's still on sale, but I've seen it. I have thought, see, that's another thing. You could have the Monsterverse bring in Cthulhu if this series goes on long enough. He could become like this, he could be, I'm gonna say it, he could be the Thanos of the Monsterverse, you know? He could be this big bad guy that all the monsters have to team up and stop him, because he's like a god, right? So he must be super powerful, like unstoppable. That would be cool. See, that's the thing, the Monsterverse could do that kind of stuff. Bring in creatures from other lore. And it works because like the lore of the Monsterverse is like these creatures are deep underground, right? Maybe that's so. Cthulhu fought Godzilla on MIB. Men in Black. Godzilla fought on Men in Black? What's MIB? Is MIB something? I'm sorry, Kaimo. I don't know what MIB is. I apologize. Yeah, I really think Cthulhu or something like this series, Monster Island Buddies. Oh, by the way, that's also a really good channel. He has like really, that's a really big channel too. High quality content for sure. That's cool. I wonder what figure he used for that. I wanted to buy a Cthulhu toy, and funny enough, I like his design. I think he's a cool thing. I've just never read H.P. Lovecraft, but he looks cool. He looks scary, and yeah. So I think it would be a cool opportunity to bring him into the Monsterverse. But I don't know how rights work as far as H.P. Lovecraft, and would people want to see it? Well, I think it was Ollie Rocket who said it sounds cool. And I say yeah. I mean, and Sebastian obviously thinks it's a cool idea. But I don't know. Like I said, I think this series needs like a Thanos. Needs an overarching villain or something that can really, all the monsters have to come together. They could do Bagan. I don't know how you pronounce him. The famous never used Godzilla creation from Super Godzilla. They could bring in Bagan. They could bring in Space Godzilla. I mean, there's so much they can do. There's so much. And that's the thing. It's funny. They keep coming up with new original monsters, which I keep saying that's cool and all. But Toho has a gigantic roster that they could bring in. Now, of course, maybe it's the fact that Toho doesn't want to give them the rights. And again, Toho, that said, man, I don't want to say too much about them before they flag this video, block it worldwide, which is funny because it's a live stream, but maybe they'll take it down. You know, if I disappear right now, you could blame Toho, okay? So, Gojo 4 goes off air, my whole channel gets shut down. I wasn't supposed to say this, but like, I mean, Toho sometimes kind of acts a little bit like like the mafia a little bit, like or the CIA, man. They'll come after you. They'll shut you down. I heard stories of a guy who like had a pizza shop or a store somewhere in like the United States, and he used like the word Zilla, Pizza Zilla or something, and Toho came after him. I mean, there was a couple years ago that movie with Anne Hathaway, right? Monstrous. When they were presenting it like at a film market, they had on the poster like Godzilla 2014. First of all, you don't have the rights to use that, so why did you use it on your poster? But anyway, it was Godzilla 2014, which is Warner Brothers' Legendary's Godzilla. But Toho was the one that came in and like threatened them and to remove that image. And then I wonder if that meant that forced them to change the creature designs. And Ollie Rocket says, this video comes down, I will still remember it. Thank you guys. Keep the fight up. But I mean, I'm joking, really. I don't get many videos taken down. Like I said, that block worldwide that happened not too long ago was it was about rare. Most of my channel, if it does get like a claim, it gets just demonetized. I think, fingers crossed. Did you know Godzilla vs. King Kong is coming 2020? Yeah, March. I want to say March. So less than a year. I mean, that's kind of insane too. We get King of the Monsters next month. Godzilla vs. Kong next year. Less than a year. And then what? I mean, again, we have to find out what happens. But, it's kind of crazy to think about where I was like 5 years ago. Godzilla, in 2014, when I was just expecting Godzilla 2014. And like, that was the only Godzilla movie coming out at the time. And now look here, we've had Shing Godzilla, and we've had Kong Skull Island, we had the entire Godzilla anime trilogy, and now we have 2 more Godzilla movies. It's kind of insane. And I keep wondering if it's going to end up like Star Wars, where we're all starting to get a little like oversaturated with movies that we're kind of like, oh, okay, another Star Wars movie. Like, are we going to get to the point where we're like, oh, okay, another Godzilla movie? I don't know. I mean, Marvel keeps making hits, right? People keep going to see Marvel movies. By the way, random non-Godzilla related note, but did you all see the new Star Wars trailer? I thought it looked pretty good. I'm also a huge Star Wars fan, so. And I don't want to say much actually, if you haven't seen it yet, but go check it out. I'd say give it a look. It looks pretty cool. I think if you were disappointed in Last Jedi, I don't want to say the trailer redeems it, but I thought it was the Joker at the end. Well, that's funny you say that because Mark Hamill, who plays Luke Skywalker, did the voice of the Joker in the Batman animated series. So that's actually really funny you say that, Kaimo. Yeah. But now I'm just rambling. I can't believe I've been talking about this for like an hour now. I guess it's just more chill. I don't know. I guess I could stick on for another few minutes if anybody has anything. That was my train of thought. Excellent. If anyone has anything else. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I should really mention, because I don't know exactly the next time I'll do a live stream. But since there were 2 different since there were two different movies of Godzilla vs. King Kong, maybe they will tie. The director of Godzilla vs. Kong I wish I remember his name. It's not Michael Dougherty, it's a different one. He already said in an interview, like a year ago, that there will be a winner. There will be a definite winner at the end of Godzilla vs. Kong. One or the other will win. I don't know if that means the other one's gonna die, but... Sebastian, wow, 2013 Pacific Rim, I tell you, it's crazy. Since 2013, we've had Pacific Rim, Godzilla 2014, Shin Godzilla, Kong Skull Island, Pacific Rim 2, Godzilla Anime Trilogy. Now we have King of the Monsters, Godzilla vs. Kong coming out. We've had, if you want to count the Cloverfield movies, you can count, Cloverfield Lane and Cloverfield Paradox. I'm trying to think of anything else. Ultraman animes. Well, they're always making Ultraman movies, right? Yeah. Is Monster Mania. So the real question is, where do we go from here, right? That's what comes after Godzilla vs. Kong. I mean, I don't know. I guess the best thing to do is just enjoy it, be excited. Why am I the only one? I don't know. I wonder what that is that, like, people keep coming and going. Like, it says one person, and then 2 seconds later, it's like 4 people. I think people are just kind of coming and going. That's how it is, man. It's always like that. The one person. And now, I didn't see the new Star Wars trailer, but I heard Palpatine in it. I don't want to spoil it. See, that's weird. There's like 3 people commenting, but the thing says 2 people. And it says, I think the little one person thing is probably like, if you're listening to this, but you're on a different tab, maybe. I don't know how it works, man. It's probably just, as YouTube. G. Word, man. I'm trying to make a G. G? Is that a G? Yeah. But, yeah, if you're like on a different tab or something, I don't know. That would explain. For me, it says 1. Yeah. YouTube is drunk. When is YouTube not drunk? Again, I don't want to... See, I got to watch myself because I don't know the algorithm. The algorithm is super smart, man, and the copyright detectors and everything. It's crazy how good it's getting. Don't get me, everyone talks about Article 13, and I don't want to get too much into that. But, yeah, it's kind of scary in some ways. But we managed, I mean, I tell you, back in like 2008, when I first started really posting YouTube videos, I was posting fan trailers back then. And like, I had I've been doing this for a long time. I had like a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 fan trailer that got flagged because it had like a Smashing Pumpkins song. And it had like a ton of views. And after it had tons of views, they flagged it. And the entire audio was like muted. It was just muted. Like, it's not like nowadays where they let you keep the audio, but they demonetize it. Oh no, they kept my video up, but they muted it, so it was awful. So like my video was just muted, and like the whole point is like it's a trailer, so there's sound effects. Have you ever played Fortnite? Can you stream Fortnite if you can? I mean, if enough people ask me, I have to get either gold or play it off my PC, but I'd be down to do it. Sure, I could stream it off my gaming channel, by the way. Check out my gaming channel. Here's a plug, Gogeo4 Gaming. I'll put a link for it below, but go check it out. But yeah, I don't know. I like to rant a little bit about YouTube, but at the same time, people like to act like every time YouTube is going to change something, it's the end of the world or there's a new law. But I mean, we've been going 10 years. They could also monetize the video and take the revenue. Well, that's exactly what they do. They demonetize it. I mean, let's be honest here. There's no such thing, or I think hardly ever. Yes, Sebastian, I am a Godzilla fan. I'm pretty sure I am. Yeah, pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I am. If I could talk about Godzilla toys for like half an hour. But I do think that, speaking about the monetization, someone is always making money off YouTube videos. There is no such thing that there's always money being made. Because if there's ads running on it, someone is making money somewhere. The owner, well, the person who uploaded it may not make any money, but someone is making money. I don't know exactly how it works, or how much money, or you know, if YouTube like holds it until the real, you know, until they get rid of the demonetization. I've heard stories that like if your video is demonetized, YouTube holds the money until someone appeals it, or while you're appealing it, YouTube doesn't give them the money. Once it's finished and they decide that it's your video and you can get the money or it's not, then they give the money to whoever. But I don't know. But yeah, most of the time, yeah, you get demonetized, they run ads on your video. I mean, somebody's making money off my trailers. I always joke about that. Like, I wonder if someone is like, I don't think rich, but like, someone's probably got like a pretty good paycheck because of my videos. Some of them have like quite a few views. And I'm just thinking like, I'm just sitting here and there's probably some guy out there like, I don't know, not driving a Lexus, but driving a pretty nice car. And he's just like, thank God for that Gojo 4. I don't know. I like Godzilla 2, and I'm excited for the new King of the Monsters. You know, people keep asking me, you know, especially like more, you know, family and friends, right? They always ask me, oh, the new Godzilla movie's coming out. Are you excited? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm very skeptical. I don't know. Or I'm like, I'm excited, but is it night already where you are? Not really anymore. Probably not. I mean, I don't know. Because like, this isn't the outside. Like if I roll this up, it's like an elevator. I'm like kind of, it's weird where I live. So the outside isn't through this window. It's a window that looks into the rest of the building. So I can't even tell you if it's night or not. I'd have to actually go outside, like outside of my building, but probably not. No, thanks to the time change now, the sunset is until like 8. But yeah. I am excited for Godzilla King of the Monsters. I think I am. I think it's just all the news coming out and like all the, I don't know, I'm skeptical. But I think the closer we get to it, the more excited I'm going to be. I have been avoiding 10:08 where I am. In the morning or probably in the morning, right? Because it's like 12 p.m. EDT. I just went with EDT because it was like, a lot of my fans are more in that time zone, so I just thought it would be easier. And it's a Saturday, so I'm assuming most people are at home. So, 10:09. Well, thank you. That probably your Mountain Time or Pacific Time, I'm assuming. But yeah, I'm excited for Godzilla King of the Monsters. I keep going back to this, sorry. I was reading a comment, but I'm just skeptical, I guess. And I woke up like 3 minutes ago. Nice. Excellent. But it's not like in 2014. And I think, of course, because we've had so many Godzilla movies and other stuff, it's not the same. When Godzilla 2014 came out, that was like the first Godzilla movie in 10 years. It was the second American Godzilla movie ever. Like, it was just so different. And if y'all were also around back then as Godzilla fans, if you remember being excited for Godzilla 2014, like, it was insane, you know? And there was so much expectation, you know? And so much hype for it. So that's why I'm kind of like being a bit more calm with King of the Monsters, because I'm excited, but I want to hold my breath, you know? And I'll go in and I'll see it, and, you know, I want it to be good, obviously, but I'm not going to be like so overhyped. And I don't even watch the trailers anymore, or the TV spots. I've been trying to, everyone posts them on Instagram anyway, but I avoid them. You know, I don't remember the last time I watched the actual trailer, but I do see pictures. I don't watch the trailers, but I do, you know, as I scroll past, I will see an image, but that's okay. I mean, that's fine. It's not a big deal if I see Godzilla blasting or some cool effect that King Ghidorah has. I mean, it doesn't really ruin anything for me. I will recount one last story, because Sebastian said BRB, but I'll wait for him before I wrap up. But like when Shing Godzilla came out in Japan in like August, right? It didn't come out yet into the States until like October, so we had to wait 3 months. But when the movie came out, they basically unveiled through the toys that Bandai released that Shing Godzilla had 3 forms. We didn't know that until the movie came out. Well, it was rumored, and some people knew about it from like a leaked script or something. So it had been leaked, but no one really knew it was official. And then Bandai just goes and releases the toys, which showed you the 2 forms. And I had to like avoid, every day I'd go on Instagram and all these Godzilla fans had posted, look, the new Bandai, the Godzilla films. I'm like, no. I had to like blur them out because I didn't want to see them until I saw the movie in theaters. So I was like diligent. I was like, oh God. And I would see them for 2 seconds and I'd be like, oh. And so I haven't had to be like that with this because it's nothing really as spoiled. I mean, yeah, Godzilla used his beam or King Ghidorah as a cool, but I haven't seen anything that's really spoiled, anything major. Usually they're videos, so I just skip them. Or like I remember people posted like footage of Shing Godzilla's beam, which again I also, it wasn't as big a deal. That his beam was purple, but you could tell in the trailer anyway that his beam was going to be purple. But no, I mean, I think it's not a big deal as long as no one posts like footage of King Ghidorah dying or Godzilla dying or some thing like that. They haven't even shown footage of burning Godzilla, funny enough. We have a toy of it, but we haven't seen like anything of burning Godzilla. So, I don't know. I'm just kind of like holding down the fort. It's not much longer anyway. I think it's like another month and 2 weeks. So, it's pretty crazy. Let's see. Well, yeah, Kaimo was basically saying the general public doesn't know these monsters, right? So exactly, that's what the TV spots are for. It's funny they call them TV spots. I don't really know if they probably come out on television, but they also get shown on, I mean, the thing is it's all the old names, right? Because you'd have these trailers that would come out in movie theaters, and then on television, on people's televisions, you would have these TV spots that would come out during like news segments and TV shows, right? Back in the day when people used to watch like cable television and stuff like that. Nowadays, I guess they just show these commercials on YouTube or something, right? Because they're 30 seconds, so they can fit them in. You know, before you're watching a YouTube video, they'll show you a 10-second, 15-second trailer for the movie. And it makes sense. I mean, for us, we don't want anything spoiled, but it's like, you know, it's like Harry Potter, right? Or like, I'm not a big Harry Potter fan, so if I see a 15-second TV spot for the new Wonderful Beasts and Where to Find Them, and it spoils something, I don't care. I'm like, I'm probably not going to see this. So for me, it's not a big deal. But maybe for a Harry Potter fan, they'd be like, oh, I don't want to see the TV spot because it spoils everything. And then Ollie Rocket. I don't like Shin. He's creepy. He's not like a Godzilla, but that's my opinion. I can go more in depth about it, but I didn't watch it because Shin was creepy. It's a different type of Godzilla, and it's not for everyone, definitely. And if you don't like Shin Godzilla, you're not going to like the other forms either. And that's a whole, but maybe, I don't know, I could go more in depth into Shin Godzilla. And I mean, in my opinion, I don't know, he's not like my favorite Godzilla, but what I really liked about him was how different he was. I think that's just what was so refreshing, that like, that's why I enjoyed that movie. It was just like Shin Godzilla is so different from other Godzillas that we've seen before in terms of like origin, in terms of powers, abilities, forms. It's a new Fantastic Beast trailer. Like I said, like if there was a massive spoiler in there, I would have been like, oh. But a Harry Potter fan would have freaked out, right? So I'm just trying to make an example to an analogy between us and other fandoms, right? Yeah, I don't know. But I really liked Shin Godzilla, actually. So I didn't think I would, you know, I think that was kind of like funny about it, that I enjoyed it more than I thought I would, especially because like it's not like a lot of action, it's a lot of talking. But it worked, I don't know, and I like the characters. I like the characters more than I did in Godzilla 2014. And yeah, the action isn't as good and there's no like giant monster battles, but it's just so really well done. I think that's what I liked most about Shin Godzilla is the style and like Godzilla's origin, and just like it was so unique for a Godzilla film, I think, compared to Godzilla 2014, that it was like it really surprised me in good ways. And it was cool because I'd never seen like a Godzilla movie done that way, that I was kind of like, oh, that you could have like a more like political Godzilla movie, if you will, or a movie that really, kind of talks about the Japanese government and stuff. And you could have like an office worker and his office mates basically be the heroes of the day. And I was kind of like, oh, that's cool. That's really cool. I guess my biggest gripe with Shing Godzilla is I wish the way they killed him, spoilers if you haven't seen it, but the way they they say they kill him, but the movie is kind of like, defeat him. Let's say defeat him, because we don't know if he's actually dead or not. I wish it was more original. You know, the Oxygen Destroyer was super cool as a concept. And the way they defeat Shing Godzilla was like they pump him full of like a liquid that liquefies or metallicizes blood or something. Coagulates his blood. It's a blood coagulant. And I'm like, it would have been cool if they got some cool device or something, or they hit him with a cool missile or something. It was a bit of a letdown the way they actually beat him. But 2014 had to play it safe in order to avoid a 98. ID 14 were like Shin. If 14 were like Shin, it would have been chaos. Well, and again, we have to also talk about like Shin Godzilla is a Japanese Godzilla production. Godzilla 2014 is an American Godzilla production. And that's the other thing. Shin Godzilla is very Japanese related. Like it's all about the Japanese government, and it was very much kind of inspired by what happened after the tsunami in Japan. So you have to like kind of appreciate how things are in Japan and maybe the way they view their government a bit. Like if you don't have an understanding for that, you may not appreciate the film as much. Or if you don't care, right, to have an understanding for it. If that ain't your kind of thing, you're probably not going to enjoy Godzilla 14. Like I kind of like those kind of things. I like to know how people view their politicians in other countries. I'm into that kind of thing. But if you're not going to like Godzilla 2016. I understand that. And yeah, Godzilla 2014 really had to play it safe. And I mean, I don't want to... I've had my review. If you want to watch my review of Godzilla 2014, I would just say that, there's some cool ideas in it, but they definitely, I feel like now with King of the Monsters, I feel like they're more able to go crazy and do more things with it and make it more fantasy. Whereas like Godzilla 14, like, yeah, they had to play it safe. They had to make it like, what if Godzilla showed up in our world today? Whereas King of the Monsters are more like a world where everybody knows of giant monsters and people are dealing with it. And that gives you more free reign to do things. But anyway, I don't really have much else to say. Just made a ring out of this thing. It's actually for my mic. But man, this was I don't think I've ever streamed this long before, but it went by fast. Did you know that Godzilla was originally bad like evil? There were two of them, Godzilla and Godzilla Raids Again. Not much about it, but... Well, yeah, I mean, the original Godzilla film from 1954 and Godzilla Raids Again. Well, Godzilla was pretty much a villain until King Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster, ironically enough. So... Not only that, but 14 had established itself as set people at ease about an American Godzilla, and Shin tried to... I like how we're all in like one comment about this. I really appreciate... Yeah. Shin tried to restore the fear. I keep saying that Shin Godzilla was like... a lot like Godzilla 1984, but done right. Like, Godzilla 1984 also tried to make like Godzilla the bad guy again, and make like a modern political thriller, but I like Shin Godzilla more, because I think it does everything that Godzilla 1984 tried to do, but better. And it's really hard to do a solo Godzilla film, because it's really easy to just have like, oh, monster shows up, oh, Godzilla shows up, Godzilla and monster fight, Godzilla beats monster, the end. Like, that's Godzilla King of the Monsters. It's just throwing a bunch of monsters and have them fight Godzilla. But only have Godzilla as the monster and make it interesting and unique and different, that's really hard to do. Because there's already been like, at this point, a bunch of Godzilla 1984, Godzilla 98, and now Shin Godzilla are probably the only 4 solo Godzilla films. And I only think Shin Godzilla and Godzilla 1954 are the only ones that have really done it right. And Godzilla 98 doesn't even really count as a Godzilla movie. Anyway, all right, I said I was leaving, okay? So, I think I wanted to last respond to Kaimo's comments that Godzilla 2014 had to establish itself as a legitimate Godzilla movie and set people at ease about an American Godzilla. Yeah, that's why they had Bryan Cranston from Breaking Bad. But I don't know why they killed him off so early. In fact, Bryan Cranston doesn't even know why they killed off his character so early. And everybody I knew who wasn't like a Godzilla fan told me, yeah, the movie was cool, but why'd they kill off Bryan Cranston so early? See, people wanted more Godzilla and more Bryan Cranston. Anyway, all right, I gotta leave because if I don't, I'm gonna end up just blabbing. So thank you guys, thank you all so much for sticking with me for so long. Thank you for all the questions, the comments, the trailer suggestion. I will add that one and get on it when I can. It sounds like a cool idea. And enjoy your guys' weekend and all that. And I'll leave some links below to some stuff to check out. And yeah, thank you all so much. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next video and or live stream. And I have to remember how to end this. Oh, well, I'll see you in the next video. Exactly. I'll see you in the next